Yo, what's up, guys? James Black here. And don't miss in this episode of the TWP. We're going to be talking about AEW. We're going to be with Full Gear. We're going to talk about the Survivor Series coming up and so much more. So stay tuned. What's up? What's up, guys? As always, James Black, as I said at the beginning, we're right now doing this show in a little bit different way for this one. As always, he's coming on onto this show, as he is my co-host. As always, Biohazard. What's up, Bio?
What's up, James Black? How's it going?
Doing all right, doing all right. Just another day in paradise, I will say.
I agree.
So we do got a lot to talk about, and as always, welcome to the show. We got a lot to talk about. We get the full gear just happened last Saturday. We have the Survivor Series coming up around, and that's going to be a very interesting pay per view. Hopefully, it comes to expectation, and hopefully, the predictions that we are going to come up with is all right, and so much more going on with different comments and different things that are going on in the wrestling world. So, hopefully, you guys enjoy the show as much as we do. Anyway, as we're going to go into, we have the elbow drop topics of the week, as I just said. And we're going to go straight into the. I know a lot of him, Bio, you and I, we didn't really get a chance to watch the pay per view, but our other guy, Paul, which he's not going to be able to come on the show today, has seen the whole thing. And apparently, what I found out, he fell asleep to one of the matches, too.
That's
Yeah.
bad.
So as I have it, you see it strolling up on the bottom is the AEW Full Gear the pay per view matches. We had the kickoff show, which was we called Shada and Rosa defeating Hater and Rosa. They had Vicky Guerrero in their corner. I heard a lot of good things about that match. I heard that the match was a very up and down kind of match. It actually literally set the tone of the whole show.
But that's a good thing. Sometimes you need that in matches where you got it, both competitors can both take some and lose some at the same time. Well, take a beating and give a beating.
That is true. And a lot of the times as well, it makes it 10 times harder for some people due to the fact that they can't take that W, or they can't take that L, like what they do in a lot of the like the indies. Like, you pretty much, as you said, in the indies you learn how to take that W and L responsibly, and some people can't. Just like how with Britt Baker, with her, she defeated Ty Conti with the help of her minions, as I call them.
Bitches.
Well, you call bitches, I call minions.
Well, it
They
doesn't
pretty much do
matter.
her dirty work.
Exactly. So they're little bitches.
I still think that Tati should have won that match, to be
So do I.
honest.
I
But like,
agree.
no, it doesn't make. That's what I hate about it. It doesn't make sense on why it didn't happen that way. Like, what is AEW trying to prove? Is my question.
To be honest, I wouldn't even know what they're trying to prove because, to be honest, what is there to prove?
It's like it doesn't make sense to me. It's like everybody's just trying to figure out how to do it. How with like saying like Conti has it, Conti has it. Like, Conti does have it. She has the look. She has the skills. She has the reputation of working it very well. But she's not showing that. Pardon me. That they really seem like they don't trust her yet. Apparently.
It could be. It could be that she might have everything, but there might be one thing that she's slacking, and they're trying to get that. And if you can't work on a little thing, if you got everything else, then it's going to set you back.
Right.
You got to listen to your promoters. You got to listen to the fans because they're the ones that's actually helping you. But if you're just going to continue to keep doing what you're doing, okay, yeah, you good. You got good ring work. You got great mic skills and all this. But if you're slacking in the what is it? social media and
Yeah,
out there around the fans. And if you're slacking on that, you're not going to be champion material because a champion has to interact and has to be out in the front spotlight. But if you can't put yourself in that spotlight now, then how are you going to do it when you come champ?
that is true. And a lot of people don't understand that either because of the fact that like even like I can give it up to one person that usually he couldn't really handle it. And this is going back when WWE and WCW were going head to head, and the one person that couldn't really handle that much pressure was Mick Foley. And Mick Foley was good, and mind you, he was a good wrestler, but he like yeah, it made a turn in the event of him winning the WWE title, but it wasn't the image that Vince was looking for.
No. And that's the thing when you got it when these promoters are trying to put you somewhere. But if you're slacking somewhere and they're telling you about where you're slacking, that you need to bring this up, bring that up, work on it. It's
Right.
not hard. But if you don't work on it, then you can't be bitching and complaining later on why you're still sitting in the same spot. You've been told, oh, you need to get out in the public's eye a little bit more. How hard is that? But if you don't want to
Exactly.
do it, then don't cry later on. Oh, I'm not champ because I got overlooked. No, you got overlooked because you weren't putting the work in.
Exactly. And mind you, like even with some other companies, like they don't really look at that much. They say, "Oh, he's a good guy. Let's get him out there." Like with the one match I came up with, like I'm actually proud of this happening. Brian Danielson defeating Miro by submission, and that's a hard thing to do. Getting Miro in a into some have him submit, and because with him being a big guy and Brian Danielson, I keep saying Daniel Bryan. Still hard to say Brian Danielson.
True.
I do apologize, Brian. I really am. Trust me. I still got your WWE ring because I've known you from WWE for a very long time.
Yeah, well, I shouldn't say that because I go back to ROH.
Well, you got to think that you have him going back to the fact that you got actually able to get trained by him. So that's totally different story.
Yeah, and if I was still in his training and I messed up on the name, though, trust me, my chest would have been screaming for help.
That is true. That is true. But like as time moves on and as we're looking at everything, it's like it's a good thing for him. He got a chance to win that match, where now he gets an opportunity at the AEW World Heavyweight Champion, which became a new champion from that match of Hangman Page becoming the new AEW champion, defeating Kenny Omega, which Kenny Omega era has finally ended with all the championship reigns, which he still holds the AAA World Heavyweight Champions, which I found out that apparently he actually suffers from vertigo.
Well, if that is true, then it needs to be announced.
Right.
And out of respect, I mean, I don't like Kenny Omega as a worker and how he performs and what that in the ring. Yes, but as a person and what that, no, he seems to me like he's one of them stuck up guys. Like, oh, my shit don't stink, and if you want to be in this league, you have to be on my level.
True. And that doesn't make sense. The only thing is with that, like you hear people saying that kind of shit, and it just doesn't. It's like Kenny Omega, he did set the bar for a lot of pro wrestlers on holding titles, but the one man who is getting the help and he still holds a lot of titles underneath his belt is Moxley.
John fucking Moxley.
Which, brother, I hope you're resting well. Hopefully everything is going well for you for your treatments and all. And can't wait to see you back in the ring if you decide to come back to the ring. But knowing you, with your passion, you're going to come back.
He has no chance if I'm gonna get him on here to crack me in the head.
Why did he correct you in the head during the podcast?
I don't give a shit. He ain't retiring until I get hit in the head again. And yes,
Oh.
Mox, you ain't retiring until me and you, Elise, are in the ring and I get my head split open.
So you'll be going after the GCW title on him.
Hey, if that's what it takes to get him on this podcast, so be it.
But with other matches that came around, you had the Inner Circle defeating the men of the year and American Top Team, which I am happy.
So am
I am
I.
absolutely happy that they won. They needed the Inner Circle. I guess they just needed that win.
Yeah, they did. I ain't gonna lie, I've been watching ever since with MJF. After that whole feud with MJF and the Pinnacle, Inner Circle was looking towards a breaking up. You could tell by each one of them the way they were looking at one another, like, do we still got this? Because if we don't, we need to break up.
Exactly.
But if it wasn't for the top team of giving them a challenge the way they did, actually, I saw it brought them together much stronger. Like they're family now. It's like you mess with one, now you got to come at us all. And for Sammy to do what he did, I that's a champion.
Yeah.
Sammy's a true champion. Sammy is he's true all around. I got to give him hands down for someone who's been in the promotion and been tossed around like and being told you're not this and that, and him to accomplish what he accomplished and risk everything for his teammates. If that doesn't yell a good worker, a good teammate, a good sportsmanship, then what does it say?
True. That is true. And it says a lot with all that. Plus, I'm still saying it. With another match I went through, I am not happy. Yeah, I still ain't a fan of his fucking ass. With MJF defeating Darby Allin by punching him with one of the diamond rings of AEW that he has, and I still think that MJF can go fuck himself. I can't stand his ass.
I'm going to tell you right now what's going to pretty much happen. MJF is going to keep running his mouth until one is going to step in and they're going to stand up to him and continue, and you're going to tell him, you want to continue running your mouth, I'm going to shut your mouth for you.
Exactly.
And to be honest, that's what he needs. He doesn't need a scripted ass whooping. He needs a legit ass whooping. Bring it back to, if you want to go back indies, bring back no script matches. You got to work on what you got to work on all in the ring.
And if they do something like that, can you imagine how those matches will turn out? Like maybe they should be able to do that with if they do like an Impact versus AEW, or do a New Pro Japan versus AEW, where it just anything that happens, any material that you put on the line before that match, you work with that and let you guys, whoever's in the ring, decide who should take that match.
Well, if you notice with Kingston and Punk, that was a no script. They know how it's what it is like, and I'm still learning. And you can't catch on to every single signal.
No.
But if you've been in a business and working with with certain people for a period of a long time, you can literally step in the ring and we'd be like saying for me and you, for an example, we've been in the business, we know how each other works. We'd be like, you know what, we don't need to run anything out here. Let's wait until our music hits and we get in the ring and just go and do what we do.
Right. And just hit the ropes, do what you got to do. It's like you just go by move. It's like with a lot of the wrestlers, like which I noticed some like the things that you've been teaching me, where like how certain ones that have been working together for a very long time, all they have to do is just do certain taps or certain motions or even certain like even like a blink of an eye, like they can blink one of their eyes or something to telling them, hey, I got like I'll do let's do this, or like let's say like for you wise, like you came up to me and like I put you in a hold and you just go to where we know what that means.
Exactly.
Where everybody else may not understand it, but for us we do.
Exactly. I mean, there is fans that do catch on to it, but when they catch on, they're not catching on fully.
Right.
What they say is going like this. He's going to be like, that's a reversal. In a
Mhm.
way, most signals that for that is like a reversal.
Yeah.
So, and if the fan is really good at it, they could pick up on it, but it's still hard.
Yeah. And another thing that I can I'll bring up with that you brought it up already was the CM Punk match versus Eddie Kingston. That became a bloodbath to where that the look on Punk's face, it looks like he was looking like John after John's last man standing match again, or not the last man standing match, the I Quit match against JBL for the WWE title. And that match was brutal. And John came back looking like he was murdering somebody.
But see, the thing is, and it is true, and they already talked about Eddie.
Yeah.
Eddie is a good worker.
Mm-hmm.
But there's things that Eddie needs to tap into.
True.
But deep down, a lot of people love working with Eddie because Eddie, the way Eddie is. Does he take his character sometimes to an extreme? But who does it?
And that's true. That's a lot of people like even with you like you said the same thing with my character that with characters we come up with, like even with some of my characters, you always ask me that one question, can you handle the extent or the mental mentality of that character? Because for example, Bray Wyatt, even though he dealt with some injuries and some other issues that they said that he was hard to work backstage, but sometimes your character becomes you.
Exactly. And that's where a lot of us guys and women, we sometimes fail to realize what is real and what is fake. Or I should say, what is reality and what is not.
Right.
But a lot of us guys, like Chris Hero, for an example,
Mm-hmm.
Chris, even though I don't give two flying shits with him, because if I ever see him out on the street or any promotion, I'm rocking him from what he did. And yes, I still hold grudges for that one.
Right.
You don't put your hands on a kid, especially a fan that was happy that you won. But look at Hero. He goes in character. He stays in character.
That is true.
He does not know how to break out. MJF. MJF is how you see him in the ring, is how he is on a normal daily life. He's a stuck up son of a bitch snob. That if I saw him out on the street, I will smack that goddamn platinum spoon out of his mouth and show him what real respect is. But that's what I mean. It's like I'm trying to get. Like MJF does not know how to break. And that's what will mess up your mind to the point where, like, I'm start bringing my work life home. No offense, God rest his soul. Look at Chris Benoit. Look at Eddie Guerrero. Sting. All of them guys who put their life on their line and no, but they all.
You missed one.
I didn't miss that. I missed total of plenty. I was just announcing.
But you missed the biggest one that actually you did it a lot. Even I know there's a fan that has been watching our show that knows who this one man was. He played that role from the moment he left his house until the moment he came back into his hotel room and back into the ring. He dressed like them and he acted like them straight through until the day he was ready to retire. Undertaker.
Not necessarily.
Undertaker played it a lot more because he even acted like it and dressed like it outside. He may not add the whole entire trench coat on, but he played the badass dead man all around.
But yeah, you're right. But here's the thing, though. Undertaker did an autograph.
Hmm.
He wouldn't have a problem stopping us, giving you an autograph or a picture or someone to talk to. He wouldn't have a problem with that. Now MJF, you ain't getting shit unless you pay him.
Yeah, MJF will just do this.
I don't even want MJF's autograph. I mean, to be honest, I'm going to be completely honest. I think AEW really needs to get rid of him. MJF is going to be that nail. That's going to be that little thorn that's going to wind up destroying that company.
You know they're not going to get rid of him because he's like the Miz. He is almost somewhat like the Miz, but the Miz is more of a PG version of MJF. And the only thing is downfall that makes him somewhat differently, he has a more comic side instead of being a total asshole.
Well, I have saw the Miz on both sides. Put it this way, I will put 500 down that the Miz will literally trash MJF in every single competition you put him in. That's
Mhm.
including Mike. That's including titles. That is including ring work. Come on now. The Miz came from Tough Enough. He was even the host for it for a while.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that he did.
he came from reality TV, but he transformed into what he is. Then is he right about that? He made the Intercontinental title prestige. Yes, he did, because he knew as a champion what it takes to be a champion. When you got that belt, you have to be in the spotlight. Where
True.
MJF, I don't see MJF ever holding a title, and if he ever holds a title, that's just going to bring major disgrace to that title.
I think if they do allow him to hold a title, and the only title that I can see him holding, I don't see him holding the prestigious AEW title. I see him maybe holding the TNT title, maybe. That's about it.
Now,
But
I got a title that he can hold.
hmm.
It's called my nuts title.
God. You know, there's times right now I would love to know if he's watching this damn show and see how much he curses us out for the fucking shit that we pull on him.
Well, if he is watching, say something. Oh, wait, that's right. You're a little bitch. Wait, MJF, do I need to ask your mommy for permission for you to talk? Mrs. MJF, can your son come out and play, or can your son come out and collect this ass whooping?
Even his parents didn't like him. They even showed up on AEW with a sign saying, "Yes, we're his parents. We don't like him either." Even his own parents had signs saying they don't like him. Like, wow, that's saying something. But we did have there was other matches that went through. Before I forget them, we had the Lucha Brothers defeating FTR to keep their title as well, which I am happy that they did. Because right now FTR, it seems like they're a little power hungry, and I think that they need to be more back down. But yes, if they wanted, they did deserve it. But they're becoming more power hungry than most other tag teams.
Actually, I'm going to debate on you with that.
Hmm.
I'm glad that FTR is power hungry. They deserve it. Come on now. They really deserve it. They are a good tag team. Look, WWE even overlooked them.
But at least WWE gave them tag team titles, and they actually were able to hold them for at least about a few months.
Well, we're talking about WWE.
Because they gave them both Raw and SmackDown titles.
But we're talking about WWE.
But like, yeah, they're a good tag team. But the only thing is that other company, there's other better tag teams than they are.
Yeah, but you also got to remember with FTR, now they're at their peak. Before they weren't at their peak. Now the way they got Tony Blanchard running them and everything, I can see FTR actually being champion for quite a while.
But here's the thing, because they're going to have the Lucha Brothers hold the titles for a little while. When do you think they're going to hold the AEW's titles? That's the thing.
Well, the way everything, like look at the Lucha Brothers after they won the tag titles from AEW. Not, what was it, about like 2 or 3 months? Not even? Yeah, about 2 or 3 months when they decided to drop the AAA.
Well, even you said it. I even said to you, they were holding that title for a while. They were holding it for about 2 to 3 years almost.
And with that is, the reason they were holding the AAA probably that long is because there wasn't a good tag team. That the way the business works is you got to have a lot of assets.
Mm-hmm.
It does not matter how phenomenal you work together, this and that. It all boils down to every point of the aspect.
Mm-hmm.
And if one point's off, you're not going to really get a title shot. And if you do get a title shot, you're not winning it. But if you're given that opportunity and you roll with it, then you might get a standing shot again to win it. And that's what FTR did. They took every possible opportunity they were given. And that's what's making them power hungry.
Right. But sometimes too much power, being too much power hungry or too much power can go to your damn head.
And you're right. But FTR realized that already.
And the biggest 3 names in the company right now, and I'm talking about in the industry of wrestling, still have that damn mindset in their head. And you can list all 3 of them. And most of them, only 2 of them are mainly into WWE.
But like I said, I'm glad for FTR. They need to keep pushing the way they're pushing, because now they're taking every opportunity. Like I told you, it doesn't matter if you just got done performing. If you're given another chance to get out there, take it, because that's going to be a once in a lifetime.
Right. Because you never know when you're going to get that chance at another title match.
Look at me, the company that I was with, DWF Loco.
Mm-hmm.
I done it. I wasn't supposed to. I was just recovering from my neck. But everybody in the locker room was saying, "No, I just got done this, I done that." I turned around and was saying it in my head, and I said, "No, you're a bunch of bitches. I'm suffering from a major neck injury. I'm not even supposed to be around the ring, and I'm saying, come on, ask me. I get asked, and I have people hating me. Why? Am I going to get that opportunity again? Are you going to guarantee me another opportunity? Because if you can guarantee me another opportunity, then I'll sit out on the sideline.
Right.
But if you can't guarantee me, I'm going out and doing it. Regardless if it's a 3-second squash match. Well, guess what? I just got 3 seconds in that spotlight compared to others waiting for.
Like, at least you got your chance. At least you can say, I'm actually got a title shot. I may not know, I'm going to win it, but at least I got a chance to say I had a title shot.
And I had. I was put up against. That's how I got my neck hurt. Because of my ex-partner. I can't drop no names just yet. That will be coming down into the story. But when my ex-partner did what he did, because he got jealous. Or because I was going up for the title, wasn't making me winning it.
Mm-hmm.
And I even told around and told the promoter, I'm not ready to be champion. I am not champion material just yet. But will I take that opportunity to help build up the card and fill a spot? Hell yeah. Because when is the next time I'm going to step in the ring and able to touch a title?
Plus, I'll say this: if with all the shit that you know that happened, and what it went down, and you had a chance to do it all over again, would you do it the same way?
What, get in the ring and with all
Like, you know all the results that you knew was going to happen.
hell yeah. Who wouldn't?
And right there, it tells you a true, passionate wrestler and fan would anybody would do it.
I would never. The only way I will stop wrestling is when I'm pretty much, might as well say, cold in the ground. The wrestling's what saved my life. Wrestling gave me another meaning, to be honest, gave me another meaning to live.
Right.
It gave me an outlet. Instead of me being out on the streets before hurting others, wrestling was my outlet. Yeah, and was I getting into something that I knew could cause my life or my body? Hell yeah. Would I continue? Hell yeah. Would I change it? No. Would you try to convince to talk me out of it? Because if you're going to try, I'm going to tell you now, if you try to convince to talk out, you got more chances of talking to a damn wall than you are with me.
True.
And James Black, you know how stubborn I can come when it's with certain things.
Stubborn? No. You're not just stubborn. You're stubborn as a fucking bull, a damn breast bull going into the damn fucking China shop.
And I'm making sure I'm breaking every China plate as I'm going through.
Exactly. So, and forgot this match. It just came through. Two of the matches. Christian Cage, Jurassic Express defeated the Super Click.
Yes, the Super Kids.
They defeated them, and another match that went through, Cody Rhodes and Pac, imagine that team duo right there, defeated Malachi Black and Andrade.
Well, it's a kind of interesting combo between Pac and Cody.
Mm-hmm.
But I see where Pac's not with anybody pretty much.
I thought with Pac was with Lucha with the Lucha Brothers as the
Death Triangle. He is, but see, the thing is, Pac doesn't really work well with others.
That's right.
He's got to get you got to get to develop some kind of base level with him,
or good chemistry with him.
Exactly. But see, him and Cody never saw eye to eye.
Mm-hmm.
Never did. But with everything going with Minister Black and all that, that gave Pac a ground level for Cody. But like, listen, we might not see the eye to eye on a lot of things. You might not like how I operate in a ring, just like I might not like how you operate. But now we're dealing with the same person. We might as well work together to eliminate that threat.
Right.
And I'm glad they won. And I'm finally glad to see him take another loss the way he did. Because if they kept building him too much, then that would have killed him.
That is true. That is damn true. So, before we go into anything else, I want to bring up this real quick before I even think about anything else. We're sponsoring some people with some help that they're doing for trying to get charities out. One of the groups I'm supporting right now, I have in my shirt, is the Flyer Sally, which is one of my old podcast crews that I am one of the original members from. I'm still good friends with everybody from it, and they're on the Old City Sports Network. They're doing a little podcaster for cancer, which is a fundraiser for Jake Long, which is Jake's father, who is battling battling cancer for himself. They're doing a little fundraiser for him over at the Iceworks and the Iceworks skating complex over in Aston. You can get there at 3100 Dalton Mill Road in Aston, PA, which is the event is on December 4th at 1 p.m. Tickets are $30 for purchase, which you get a buffet, a voucher for 2 drinks, and 1 entry for a door prize as well. So please enjoy trying to make a donation. If you want to make the donation to be able to go so they can hold your ticket, or if you can't go, you just want to make a donation to be able to go do it, please send it through Venmo at the OCSN donations is the user link. So as we mosey along down to the next topic, I'm not going to jump into Survivor Series yet. I want to bring up a couple other news that came through that got me a little bit back and forth what's going on throughout with the wrestling world. One of them is the conflict between Flair and Lynch with the swapping of the titles. So these are 2 women who are very power hungry right now. And the biggest one of the power hungry is Charlotte Flair. Which there was a source that came around stating that Becky was furious at Vince McMahon for not punching Charlotte Flair and demanding for her termination. Per sources, Becky threatened to appear on AEW Dynamite and throw the Raw Women's title in the trash can. Now, where does this sound like it's coming from?
To be honest, I believe. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
To be honest, what it is them trying to one up on one another. And to be honest, Vince is stuck in the middle. Which, to be honest, Vince deserves it. Because this is the mess that he created. He created this mess. You created Charlotte just like you created Becky. Now you got 2 women that are champions for both of your brands. And now you got to choose which one you're putting over. Just like now the whole Big E and Roman. Who you putting over?
And plus what's making it harder as well is that with Becky, because Becky came through the indies and she came through the pro wrestling way of how to train and how to work over back in Ireland. And her to say that she'll leave to AEW with the Raw Women's title and drop it in a trash can, it sounds just like what Shayna Baszler did.
So to be talking honestly, Becky should have been fined and suspended for that. Because that's poor sportsmanship and everything. All because it was a changing over a title. I mean, come on now, really? That's like me fighting with you over a changing of a t-shirt.
Yeah.
You're still champion. All what you're doing is just exchanging the belts. So
for the proper brand.
So why you got to complain?
Doesn't make sense for any of it, to be honest. I don't know why they did something like this, but like it just doesn't sink in to why that. Like, yes, I understand you're frustrated and you think that with Charlotte, what she's doing, and all that, it's not meant for the business. It's not how she's running it. It's like she's being what's the word I'm looking for? A stuck up. Well, dictator. Not just a dictator, but trying to use her father's legacy as being known as she is overall. She's the better woman to be in anything.
She's just riding her old man's coattail.
And didn't she say that she doesn't need her father anymore?
Yeah, but look what she's doing. She's mocking him of everything. And I ain't gonna lie. What the hell does Charlotte look like? She looks like a bag of what the fuck Barbie doll.
She looks like something that you find out in the sex store. How she looks like right now.
Now I see why Andrade left to go to AAA and AEW to get away from that.
He even said it. Like, yes, they're going to be married soon. They're engaged, but even he said it. Working the same company as her is very stressful because she is more demanding than most women there.
Why? Is because of her name. She's a flyer, and she thinks, oh, because I'm a flyer, I'm going to be titled to every single thing. Just
Hmm.
like, you know what? Yeah, I will give credits to Ric Flair. Yeah, he was the dirtiest player in the game, but he made that work.
Exactly.
That was his gimmick. That was his things. That's what made him Ric Flair. You, you're trying to be something that's already been done.
Plus, only thing what she like the only thing she did was yeah, she still used her father's theme song with a little twist to it, but that's fine. But what she needs to do is trying to find who she is. Like she said, yes, she's the queen of wrestling. If you're trying to be the queen of wrestling, why don't you try to do a gimmick that's going to evolve around that? Like look at Natty. Natty did the Queen of Hearts. Look at freaking Shayna Blazer. Not Shayna. Was it Shayna? Yeah, Shayna. Shayna did the spades. Did for the spades. I can't do that once in a while. It's a little hard to hit. There we go. But she
All
did
you
the
got to do is
spades.
this.
Well, remember she does. She goes in and makes the
Yeah,
spades.
like this.
Yeah, it's supposed to show like you're doing the spade, like the spade area. But anyway, but she does spades. Why not be something saying you're the queen of wrestling? Why don't you prove that you're the queen of wrestling, not demanding that you have this shit all backed up saying that because you were frying your father's coattail. Look at Orton. Fucking Orton, it rode some of your father's his coattail, but then made a legacy on his own to
Exact,
become something different.
exactly. And not even just Randy. There's other generations.
Cody.
All right, I'm not even Cody. I don't really want to bring it up, but because I'm not a big fan of him anymore, because the way he's carrying himself. But another one, Roman.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns, when he came in, yes, he knew he was Samoan. He knew who he was related to. He knew his bloodline is WWE.
And his bloodline is pretty much taking it into the pro wrestling industry.
So he is all that. But Roman went on a different path of his family's legacy and created his own, which he created a whole bunch when he was part of this Shield. Then when the Shield broke up, he made it the name for himself. But now of him going with running the bloodline, not just that you're not killing your cousins. Now you're killing your actual bloodline
Yeah, pretty much.
because you're not going to be at the head of the table for long.
Right. And plus look at the Usos brother. Is in NXT. He could be the next person to take over his position because he is dominating NXT right now. And you see it.
Hmm.
NXT soon before you know it, it's always the next generation is going to take over. Like look at Tamina. Tamina took over for a while. Then all of a sudden it became the Usos taking over for a while. Then when Roman came in, it was Roman and the Usos taking over with a little bit of Nia Jax was in it. There's so much that is going on in the industry with the Samoan bloodline that anybody can overrule you. The Rock is right now the top main dog in the Samoan line right now.
And which I'm going to turn around. I would love to say it. The Rock will come out and put Roman in his place.
You know what? One thing I love, and I'm gonna do this right now because since we're doing this right now, because this is actually a dream match I would love to do, but I'm gonna reword it a little bit. I did edit up to where this is another get to know us kind of thing. Yes, I know I didn't bring it up, but this is a little drop of the hat kind of thing because since we started talking about it, is what is your dream match that you would love to see? And for me, I would love to see The Rock, the biggest man of all, Rikishi, go up against, and actually no, Rikishi and one other person that they choose of, which I would love to see maybe the Usos' brother to go into them against the Bloodline to to have a family feud to show who is the real top dogs in the family. Because come on, if it wasn't for The Rock and it wasn't for Rikishi, all three of them would have made it in the business.
Well, might as well say if it doesn't go back to the Rock's father and grandfather, no one of them would have been in the business. Not even the Rock himself.
Not even freaking what do you call Roman's father. And may he rest in peace, Umaga. And you know who he was in the beginning. 13 seconds. Jamal, as I remember he was named. That's one of the biggest dream matches that I have. I would love to see. Because come on, like Rikishi still he says he's retired, but he's technically not. He is still training other wrestlers and he's getting in the ring showing them how to work the ropes. But I think something like this would be a passing down if they're going to have the Bloodline win, they're doing that, it would be a passing of the torch saying, take the reins, you have all the responsibilities in order to control it right.
True, but Roman doesn't know how. Roman can't even cut a promo.
Even The Rock will drop him with the promo cuts.
I could drop Roman with the promos. You could probably even drop him with a promo.
Even I can drop one to the point where that he'll start crying.
What it is Roman gets, and I seen it. Roman gets nervous. And when he gets nervous, he shuts down on it. And that's that will be your biggest downfall. And why I see him as champion, I don't know why. Because what also makes your character and everything is also your promos.
True.
If you're going to go out there and talk that you're the big badass, then you need to back it up. But if you're out there showing that you're a badass, but you can't back it up on the mic, then there's a problem here.
It's like not a lot of people can understand that. That's the fucked up thing. But there's not much you can say when it comes down to that. But even with that, like I would say this for you then, because I give you my dream match right off the bat. What is your dream match that you would love to see either in WWE, AEW, or even any promotion that would you think that would do it?
I would definitely want to see Sting and Taker.
That is the ultimate dream match.
I would love to see Sting and Taker.
The Icon versus the Dead Man. The one back from the original WCW NWO battle.
And the way they would call it, Icon versus Icon. Because that's what Undertaker was known as too, was the Icon as well. The Phenom, the Icon, this, and this. But them two guys, Taker and Sting, built what wrestling is. You might as well say it was partially Sting who helped develop more of WCW, just like it was Taker who helped pretty much develop WWF. at the time before they changed to WWE.
Right, and if you add in including with that, you had with how he did how with Undertaker being with the dead man persona and all that, we probably would not have a Fiend, or we would not have a at the time an Aleister Black, which now he's known as Malachi Black.
And here's a proven example. If it wasn't for Taker being the whole badass, there won't be no heels.
True.
Guys like that who were willing to be that. And Undertaker wasn't known as a heel.
Or he was more known as like what Randy Orton is, the who was like an anti-heel, to where that he could be a good guy, but he on a drop of a hat he can change into that heel.
Yeah, but with Taker was more of, you want to be the bully? Fine. I'm not going to come out and talk. I'm going to come out and I'm going to bully you.
True.
Now Randy Orton, he will come out, run his mouth, but it works for him. Where Taker, he would just come out, do what he's got to do, disappear, showing, yeah, you want to be the bully? Guess what? I'm going to bully you, and I'm gone. Randy Orton talk, hit you at an RKO or whatever, gone. Each one has their own persona that makes them them.
Right. So you got mine, we got yours. Why don't you guys, we get a chance, I'll put it up on our page. Comment your dream match of what it is. Even if you guys are watching, comment as well. We'll bring it up at the end of the show with your dream match.
Come on, people. Please reach out. We need comments. We need material. And we can't get that if no one's reaching out and helping.
Exactly.
If there's a match you want us to cover, if there's a promotion you want us to look into or whatever, if you want to turn around and message and tell me to shut my fucking mouth, please do. This is what we want. We want you to open up. We want your comments. We want your answers. We want your opinions. We want to hear exactly your thoughts. Like, again,
Exactly.
If it's cursing me out, bring it.
Because you know how Bio is. Bio loves the heat, and he loves to see who can get him to his hot spot.
Right now, I haven't found not one single person yet that was able to. Why? Because they're chicken shit.
Hey, you know how we run. There are days we do a TVMA kind of show, and there are other days we're at TV 14. So if you want to try to keep it one way, do a TV 14 to where you can drop some bombs. Just be careful what you say. And another news, I'm going to bring up the one thing that we gotten really heated on, and it was the biggest thing that I know you got heated on and I got heated on. It's Stephanie McMahon's comments to the fans' reactions on WWE release, which she said, and I quote, "Don't hate WWE for roster cuts. The blame should go straight to AEW. My father was forced to make these cuts because Tony Khan destroyed our company reputation of having a positive environment."
Okay, first off, wait a minute. Stephanie, what the you've been smoking? Because whatever you've been smoking, please pass it to me, because what you just wrote was the stupidest bullshit ever. First off, you're going to blame another company for your downfall. Why? You're blaming them because they pick up your talent and using your old talent like their talent's supposed to be used? Or is it the fact is that your father doesn't have it no more? You don't have it no more. Triple H doesn't have it no more. Yous are killing these guys. So the downfall that I see, Steph, it's your fault. You made the cuts. And you're talking about AEW's being positive? So that just said that yous were being negative. So look who just put themselves in the kettle pot.
Like, come on, like look at what Punk said when he came back. He doesn't have to be the voice of the voiceless. He would have to be the one to say what was really going on backstage because because everybody said they couldn't handle the truth, and they always try to hide it. And when Vince gave Punk one chance to drop what they cut it as the pipe bomb, which I call it as the pipe bomb of truth, they couldn't handle it. They literally, and you remember, they cut off his mic
Several times.
because he was giving out too much information. But isn't that what some pro wrestling is about? To where that you have to be honest with the fans so they understand what's going on.
To an extent. To an extent. Now, the way Punk went about everything with WWE, Punk did it because WWE was doing wrong all around. WWE wasn't listening to the fans. WWE wasn't listening to their workers or none of that. WWE was doing what they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you're working with a company and they're listening and all that, but they have a little flaws here and there, you don't want to air them.
Right.
Because they're not really major. Now, okay. Like now I can go in and talk about, oh, I don't like working with this, and this because they didn't listen. Now I'm with the company that I can retire it. And that's
Yeah.
what Punk did.
Exactly.
And now if by all this people should start saying, oh shit, Punk was speaking the truth. It wasn't a story. It wasn't a script. And which I'll tell everybody out there, it wasn't a story. It wasn't a script. That was Punk literally telling you what is going on. And now people, it's all over social media about Stephanie McMahon saying what she said about blaming AEW, that it's AEW's fault that that her father had to make cuts. You're a multi-billion-dollar goddamn company. How are you letting the smallest promotion whoop your ass, but you want to put the blame on them, but you got more money than they do? Why? Because Tony Khan's father owns the Jacksonville Jaguars? Wow.
And plus your father couldn't even keep the XFL league open for a whole season the one year he brought it back. And they said it wasn't making money. Fuck. That the ratings for that, how the new gameplay was actually making money off of it. Yes, you only picked the select cities to do it, but they were making the money. It was bringing the ratings. It was bringing the viewers. And now The Rock owns it. And The Rock's going and sits there and says, "Oh, we're going to bring it back with the original teams and everything else, but we're going to make it to where that we can actually keep you guys interested into the game." And it was a new style of football.
Now, again, you just spoke on it. The Rock said he'll bring it back, bring it a new taste, bringing it old, but add it new.
Yeah.
Make you want the oh shit. Oh, they're coming on. I need to watch this game. I want to see how this one plays.
Yeah.
Now, look what WWE's doing. And they want to put the blame on AEW. Wait a minute. You got Roman Reigns being the goddamn champion for a whole never mind, for I might as well say 15 billion years, even though I'm exaggerating. But I'm tired of seeing Roman. I'm tired of seeing Becky. I'm tired of seeing Seth. I'm tired of seeing Charlotte and all that. I want to see like Ripley, Doudrop, all the newer ones. I want to see them out there paired to the old ones.
And giving congrats as we're on that to Liv Morgan getting her opportunity to go after the Raw Women's title. And I'm saying it now, and I'm saying it here. They fucking better give Liv that title. Well, because Becky does not deserve that title from coming back from her pregnancy relief. The one, she deserves that title more than ever. She's been busting her ass. She went through the damn losing her tag team partners, then getting her tag team partner back, and then losing it again, and then going through a slump and going through character changes and everything else. It's her fucking time to shine. Give it to her like you did with Mandy Rose down in NXT. Give her fucking chance.
No. Liv, congratulations. Liv, please put the worst goddamn beating on Becky. Make Becky realize that there's no other body higher than the company.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it all boils down. No one's higher than the company. Once you start feeling that you're higher than the company, then guess what? It's time for you to get knocked the hell down and time for you to pack your bags and go. Because no one's never going to be bigger than the company.
True.
And that's where Becky went.
She leaves and all of a sudden comes back with the fucking title? No.
And what gets me, and I'm to be honest, Belair, man. Belair. She fought, got her up to that, and you make her lose like that for 26 seconds, but then you just put her in a match with what's her name?
I know you're talking about her. She's in my head. She just did a match last night with her, not going up against Doudrop. Tamina.
Thank you. Look, Belair dropped Tamina. Look how big Tamina is.
And she's lifting at least about over 200 to 300 pound woman.
She literally hit her with her special. Come on now. If that right there is not champion material, then I'm sorry, what is? Belair's got every quality as champion. She's got the walk. She's got the talk. She's got the goddamn attitude. That's what you need. The walk, the talk, the attitude. And she's got all three. And you're going to make her go through all that hell. Then she takes a loss because, oh, Becky's back. Which I think I ain't going to get into that because I don't want no falling outs anywhere.
But even Liv made a good point of what she said, that Becky was the best. Was everybody looked at Becky at the top as a idol on how she brought up with the women's evolution. She lost all that.
She did. Look at the 4 horsewomen. Come on.
Which
now.
One? The first group 1 or group 2?
The first group. It was Becky, Charlotte, Bayley, and Sasha. Were the original 4. If they would have continued, to be honest, if they would have continued to run that would be the best, hottest fraction, or I should say in the business, the hottest stable. That would be like seeing the original 4 horsemen reboot it. But you killed it.
They had the attitude. They had the same attitude. They all had the same mentality, what they wanted. But they didn't even let them launch in NXT. Can you imagine the 4 horsewomen and the Shield going off at the same time?
It would have been it would have been like the Attitude Era back again.
Exactly.
And which is kind of getting me is, how is it that WWE can't see it? This is the Attitude Era. This is the Attitude Era, might as well say 2.0.
Yeah, like they made NXT as the 2.0.
But if you look at it, this is the back and the Attitude Era. Because we don't want to see all that mumbo jumbo. We want to see blood. We want to see violence. We want to see guys get launched like it's never been done before.
Like with the one match they did with Jericho and Nick freaking Gage. That match was never seen on TV before.
And that was supposed to have been a dark match because of the simple fact is of what weapons were being used.
But even with that match, it got one of the highest viewings in any show that night because of the fact that it was something new, it was something different, and it was something that you would never thought you would see on live TV. And
Just
it was uncensored, unscripted, and it went all the way down to the final blood drop.
but look what Go also said. Look what AEW did. They did their very first Octagon match
Mm-hmm.
with Warlow and Jack Hager. And that was good. I wasn't expecting the Warlow to survive for how long he survived. And
No.
Warlow did get some good hits and all that in. So, but just seeing a MMA fight on an actual wrestling promotion was out of the box. And you want to blame AEW. But wait, Steph, Vince, Triple H, you had all these ideas in front of you. You didn't choose to run with it. Now another company figured out, oh, well, since they ain't doing it, let's do it, and we're going to win.
And now look at it. They're like, yeah, they're not being the millions reviewers right now, but they're still getting people tuning in week in and week out.
It's because on the simple fact is they listen. And I argue this point with so many people, and I'm not putting nobody's opinions down or what companies they like. You're entitled to all that.
Mm-hmm.
But what I want people to see is what actually is going on. You got to open it up your eyes. All because of one person saying, oh, well, this company's this, this, and this, and they're putting my company on. There's got to be other reason why your company's going under.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just, I can't, if something's going wrong with our podcast, it's us. Something with us is doing it.
Exactly.
Just like with the business. But if another podcast is out beating us because of certain things, that's us because we weren't seeing it.
Exactly.
And we can't blame that other podcast.
No, you can't. And it's anything that happens. It's unfortunately we just have to take it, learn from it, and fix it.
And that's the thing. WWE will never own up and except for the falls that they have done. They always try to pass the buck or put the blame on someone else, and they don't ever realize that it's them. And now this is why your company is no longer your company. You're wondering why people are leaving. This is why they're leaving. Who wants to see the same old shit? And especially, who wants to keep hearing about the blame on this, the blame on that? You're ruining for us fans.
Not only that, they're ruining themselves as a company as it is. Period. But I think it's like where it's in the words of us, like for not saying it with a lot of the women on this, but a lot of the men say this: man up, take the blame yourself that you're the one that's fucking up.
Well, AEW, whatever you're doing, keep up the goddamn work, because I'm telling you now, I am, might as well say, out of millions or whatever, am another number one fan.
And I'll definitely say this as well. This podcast, even though we do talk about WWE, this podcast is all elite. We support all elite wrestling. We talk about WWE and what they're saying because, yes, they are part of what we still say pro wrestling, even though they don't consider themselves as pro wrestling. They consider themselves as sports entertainment.
Wrong. Superstars
of sports entertainment.
So wait, might as well say yes, I'm still in the business, but not currently because I'm not with a company though. But don't that make me a superstar?
And I'm going through training and so learning the ropes and all that. Does that make me a superstar?
No, because I say what our superstars are the men and women who are overseas fighting for us to have our freedom. Or wait, for the ones that are fighting over there, so you can put on a damn show for us fans.
Plus, have you noticed, or there was a list that came out of how all the wrestlers who were paid in WWE and why they were, and plus it gives me a good, better reason why they're releasing all these other guys. Like the most paid one is Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar, John Cena, AJ Styles, Roman Reigns, Charlotte Flair. These people are getting paid millions just to be in the ring. And plus, Roman Reigns been champion for over 450 days, and he only defended his title 16 times. You know how many in the 334 days, how many times Punk had to defend his title? 1,365 times. He's been in that ring more than Roman's been in that ring as a child. And right now, Roman's acting like a fucking child. He's too scared to get in the ring. He don't want to lose his title. He wants everybody else to do his fucking dirty work. Fuck you. You want to be known as a fucking wrestler. You want to be known as champion. Put the hard work in. Do the damn job.
I mean, seriously, you called it. You called it, James. Seriously, you really nailed that. Stop being a bitch. Stop using your cousins to do your dirty work. Just like now, I'm starting to see it, Roman. Maybe it was Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose carrying your ass on with this Shield.
Mm-hmm.
Because now it's the way it's going. It's looking like you and Jimmy and Jay. Even though you call yourself the Bloodline, you're still trying to. It's still somewhat to me simmering that you're trying to be a re-Shield.
And plus, if you look at it, how everything's going down with it too, all Roman is muscle. All he is, because nothing but he knows it's like football. You have a muscle guy, and then you got the intelligent ones, and the muscle guy's usually taking out everybody, and then you have the Usos, the brains. No wonder they brought in the Usos and Paul Heyman for Roman to be able to create one man.
And that's the thing. Roman cannot even be that one man.
No.
Roman can't even cut a promo. How you cannot cut a promo? Come on, even John Cena said it to him. I could do this part-time more than you could do full-time.
You know who can cut a better promo than him? And I'm going to say this, and mind you, this man barely cuts promos. Brock Lesnar. And that's saying something.
Matter of fact, I know who could cut a better promo. Probably my 12-year-old goddaughter. Matter of fact, I think my 7-year-old goddaughter can also probably cut a better promo.
I think my son can without even saying it.
All he has to do is just go up and headbutt. There's his promo.
But even, I will say this, even my wife can cut a better promo than him. And you know her.
Yeah.
But I want to bring this up because we still got at least two more things to cover. Booker T's comment on Keith Lee's Movil being released. He goes and states, Keith Lee will probably join AEW after his 90 days are up. He chuckles about this. Honestly, Keith is a dumbass. Being damn difficult backstage because he wanted creative freedom. Keith, you don't need creative freedom. And probably why you got fired.
Well, first off, that's part of wrestling. You want to be free. Yes, is there going to be rules? Is there guidelines that you're going to have to follow? Yes.
Always.
But I'm not going to be something that if it don't fit me. Or because you want me to be that, it ain't happening. And that's why probably Keith Lee did get fired, because he might as well say he probably spoke up like another CM Punk and said, no, this ain't right. This ain't who. This is not why I came here. Yeah, I came here to get myself out there, but this ain't getting me out there. This is getting you out there, not me.
And just like with the like he had like he didn't like, and same thing. I'll bring up another wrestler, Cross. He didn't like with the stuff they were doing. Like he even said, even Keith Lee said it. I don't like this bear cat shit that's going on. Or even Cross said, it's like, who else would wear this fucking helmet? No one. It's like the gimmick was fucking stupid. The
And
bear
if
cat gimmick doesn't make sense, and the damn freaking helmet didn't make sense either.
now see if they would have did something like, just for an example, like Keith Destroyer Lee, now that would have worked because he's built
right,
and he's got all three. He's got the talk, he's got the walk, and he's got the goddamn attitude.
And you forget the fourth one. And he has the physicality for a man his side to be able to run around those damn ropes.
Well, that's what I mean by the walk, the talk, and the attitude.
Like you never see a man that big be able to jump over the ropes and flip at the same time.
And I have been in an indies, and I have personally been around big guys that can't do that. And also been around the ones who can. For him to be that big and able to fly over the rope like it's butter, come on now, that guy can set sails anywhere. I can see him being a heavyweight high flyer, a powerhouse high flyer, which is not that many.
No,
but I can see him being it.
It's like he's almost right up there with Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman was a fast, tall, heavy guy, and how he was able to run around that ring and knock you the hell out. No one can know that. You can even said it. There's barely anybody that can do that shit.
And when you got these guys and women who got these special skills and these special talent that you ain't going to find in other people, that's the ones that you want. That's the ones you want to keep. They're the ones who are going to keep putting the money on in your pocket to put food on your table.
Exactly.
Now, by you not doing that, you just land them up with someone else. And again, Booker T, how do you know if Keith Lee's going to go with AEW? He could go with any other promotion. Why is it that now WWE's like, yeah, Booker, I don't give a shit because I don't even care about your brother either. You could bring the Harlem Heat my way too. You bring Harlem Heat, I bring South Philly Heat. And we'll see which one stands first, which I know I will. But how are you going to sit there and say this about this guy or that guy? But Booker T, weren't you the one who was given multiple chances after you were convicted of a crime?
Mm-hmm.
But you're going to sit up there and judge others when technically you shouldn't have been in the ring for the crime that you committed.
Come on. How many people have given crimes and actually done something like that and still got into the ring? R-Truth. You had Randy Orton with the honorable discharge and was in prison because of the fact that he left a military base without consent.
But look, it's not even that. Look, Jimmy and Jay busted both of them multiple times for driving under the influence.
Mm-hmm.
But you're going to talk about Keith Lee trying to be positive.
And another one, Jeff Hardy.
But you're going to sit there and judge one person and say, and you call them stupid? Technically, Booker, you're stupid for staying with a company that I don't give two flying shits. And for you also to have your own promotion. Your own indie promotion, because you came from the indies as well. And you're going to sit there and trash talk another promotion, especially a worker? You're just a hypocrite. And that I lose respect in. And I was a Booker T fan. But until after that, what that comment he made, that was it.
So, as before we get to the last two topics, I want to bring up our last and final promotion that we are helping out with is a Mother's Wish, which is my cousin. Actually, her daughter actually has been battling brain tumor for quite a while. She is now trying to raise. They're trying to raise money to make a Mother's Wish come true by taking her to Disney World, so that she can go down there, spend her time. Because actually, we don't know how much longer she's going to be around, and things are going up and down. She determined the tumor keeps coming back and forth, but they can't do any more surgery anymore. So she's going through chemo and radiation, the pretty much the last steps that she only can do until the final days. But unfortunately, she's trying to live her life out the best and the fullest for her daughter. So if you can, please donate. It's a 50-50 raffle. One ticket is $5 for an entry, and then you can get 5 ticket entries for $20. So it's not that expensive. It's not that hard. It's like if you can, dig down deep in your pockets and donate to this. And the drawing will be on December 14th, which Natalie, the little girl whose mom is trying to do this for, it will be doing the drawing for the raffle. And if you win, you'll get it through. So they accept Cash App or Venmo. The Venmo is at Tara dash Sipanzik. I can't pronounce your last name, Tara. I am so sorry. I still have been way to pronouncing last names. Or you can do through PayPal. It is PayPal at CIMINKAT000. Or you can do the Cash App, which I have the link right here. If you have a phone, you can just scan it right from here. Pause the screen if you have to. When you go back to watch the video, scan it there and send your money through there. Make sure you do put on your name and say where you got this information from, so they know that we are doing our best to try to get the information out there.
Now, if people are not interested in the raffles, that's fine. But can we please just make this family's wish come true? Let's give this mother what she wants. It's not much, people.
Like I said, we had that cause, and plus we had this cause as well. Is helping him trying to pay for his medical, pay for his medical and everything else, financial expenses as well. So
And
it's both cancer.
I with the second one, I can relate because might as well say you're friends with them, and one of them is a mummer, and I'm also a mummer, and us mummers, we have to stick together. And if it's a friend of a mummer, you're a friend as well. So come on, even if every little bit helps, if you can't really afford much, even if it's $1, that dollar's going to go a long way.
Mm-hmm.
That dollar's going to help cover something. And put it this way, it will make you feel good in the end that you was able to help someone else that was in very dire need. So just reach out, because it's them that we need. They don't need us. We need them. And for us, the way and all that is to help them.
And trust me, we're not part of their network. I'm originally from that network, so I'm giving a helping hand to my other, as I can, a lot of them that I've been knowing them for at least about 2 years now, and I known Jake Long for a little while, which is the guy who I know, not his father, but I known him for a while. I knew a little while, just enough time while I was doing shows with him, and with the main guy who's really running this is Jesse Bell, which is the mummer. And I've known him from the beginning since when we started Flyers Alley. Yes, and I still got the original shirt that we started with.
I go back with Crown with him, so.
So, please help out my cousin Ashley for her daughter, and help out for Jake's dad. Do what you can for them. Help them out. Like I said, any kind of cost will help, even if it's $1. At least help them out. like I said, you do the entry for the 50-50, you don't want to keep all the money, just tell them when they win, saying keep it for yourselves. Use it for something, for tell them use it for souvenirs or use it for anything like that. It's all going to a good cause. So as we go down the line, before I'm not going to say the last one, I'm going to say the one last one for last. We're going to go jump right into the Survivor Series matches coming up this Sunday on streaming on Peacock. There's a lot with this that I have a lot of up and downs with some with the cards and all. I don't know where to damn start at with this because first you have the you had the title the champion versus champions match. You have Damian Priest versus Shinsuke Nakamura, the United States champion and Intercontinental champion. That one's going to seem like it's going to be a very intense battle with both sides, where you have Damian Pierce is going on a hot streak and showing a different side of him as well. And then you have Shinsuke Nakamura being his original self when he was back in NXT.
But also bringing a hot streak with it.
Exactly.
See, now I'm going to say now with that match, I'm not choosing. I can't because I know both of them are going to put on a hell of a show, put on a hell of a match. So you know what? All what I can say is best to either one. Good luck and the best to whoever wins.
Then you have, imagine I'm trying to bring it up real quick. I do apologize, you guys. It's just taking me a little bit to get everything up here. No, that's Survivor. That's not Survivor Series. Damn you bastards. Then you had the Big E versus Roman Reigns, which we did talk about a little bit with that. And to be honest, I'm looking for Big E to win that match.
I want Big E. Then the reason why I want Big E is because on a simple fact is Roman had enough of the spotlight. And you going to have to have one of your champions going to have to, at Survivor Series, they're going to have to take a loss.
Exactly.
And if you make Big E take a loss, oh, well, you want to talk about more people leaving? That probably will kill your whole company.
Damn straight. And it's going to hurt a lot of people if you think about it, because if you don't have Big E winning that title match, it's going to show that you're playing favorites. And it's like back in the day, like in the beginning, it was Hulk Hogan. Then it turned into Stone Cold Steve Austin. Then it turned into The Rock. Then it turned into John Cena. And then it went dead for a while. And then now is Roman Reigns.
Roman's done.
There's so much you can talk about that. It's just I can't even think straight with it anymore. It's ridiculous.
That might be for more next week.
Yeah, right after the whole entire thing, and then we'll determine on how it actually turned out to be.
Well, we could do that.
So the next one is going to be like I want to see what you think it's going to be. The men's 5-on-5 Survivor Series match, which Raw has Seth Rollins, Finn Balor, Kevin Owens, now Bobby Lashley, and Austin Theory with MVP in their corner. Going up against Team SmackDown, which is now Drew McIntyre, Jeff Hardy, King Woods, Happy Corbin with Madcap Moss, and a wrestler to be announced. Get your opinion on this. Who do you think is going to be that final fifth member for SmackDown?
Well, I can tell you now, I know what a lot of people are going with. And what a lot of people are probably thinking. Brock Lesnar. Why? Because of how much Brock was done wrong.
Mm-hmm. But
I don't see it being Brock.
Do you think it's going to be a like maybe an underdog, someone that was never thought about?
What I think it's going to be is someone that's been in the business and that's been gone for a little while. and they're going to come in and make that their re-debut again.
Who do you calling?
Starts with a G. Why? Because look who's on the opposite team. Lashley. And the last one Lashley went against?
Goldberg.
Goldberg still could have. I could see it probably being Goldberg.
But I can't because his contract. He only has one last match left on his contract. And there he won't use his last one until either WrestleMania or SummerSlam, which is still to be determined. That's the thing.
But see, even though you say that he's got one match in his contract, that's one singles match. It does not state any other matches. And he's
True.
just not in the ring himself. He's got a team. So therefore, he can still do it. But I mean, if it is Goldberg's going to be the last one, and he's going to be just jackhammering everybody who comes across their path.
True. That is true. For me, there's been different names that have been going through my head that I think it could be. And there's one name that surprisingly never came across anybody's mind. He made his appearance before. He said he would be back later. And, well, he's still trying to make a point, and he does technically was his first home on SmackDown, where he made his debut on Cena.
Yeah. I can see Cena making a return too, but here's the thing though. Why would you make a return on that after what your company just did to you? They hyped you all up. They made you got the crowd all into it that you were coming 17 times, and they literally destroyed it.
Well, he's one of the ones that I'm saying that he'll do whatever it takes to get the company up. And mind you, he was in the Indies for minuscule time, but he was thoroughbred breed through WWE longer.
True.
So he pretty much will bend over backwards and have Vince McMahon kiss his ass just to do whatever needs to be done.
No, John, but no offense. I mean, I do like John Cena on certain things that he has accomplished.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, he bends over and goes, "All right, Daddy, tell me which way you want me to do it. Which way you want me to be bend over. What tool you using on me?"
But it's still a lot for knowing that. So like you got my prediction.
You got mine.
You had bios, and same thing with even with the women's. Like you had Team Raw with Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan, Carmella, and Queen Zelina. I call her Zella because she's freaking fucking not getting that. With Team SmackDown with Sasha Banks, Shayna Baszler, Shotzi, Natalya, and another female to be announced. You know who I think possibly might be taking that role? Because one name came up, but I don't think it's going to be her.
Who?
The one I don't think it's going to be her, it's going to be Naomi. But the one I think is going to take it is she's going to make her ring return since she was out for a while. And she is kind of part of management now with WWE running SmackDown and Raw, with Adam Pearce. You
Sonya?
know who I'm talking about. Yeah.
No. I'm telling you now, if that's the case, then so if Sonya's going to get involved into that, then she's got 2 options. It's give up the GM and work in the ring, or give up the ring and be a GM. You can't have both worlds, because technically we've seen plenty of GMs do that, and look what happened. MVP. God, Kurt Angle and
Bischoff. You had Bischoff. You had Stone Cold a little bit, at least only when he got provoked. Then you had going down the line with what was her name? AJ Lee did it, and it's hard to balance both sides of the world.
And look, for an example, Triple H and Stephanie.
That one is the biggest, and Vince and Shane.
User owners, you shouldn't be getting in. Yeah, you should be getting in the ring in order to know what it feels like. But for you to get a title shot over your own workers, is that wrong?
Come on, with Vince. Stealing. Like Vince with the WWE and the ECW Heavyweight Championship. That doesn't make sense to me.
It's just a disgrace. And it's like a slap in the other company's face, regardless if you bought them or not. It's still a slap.
True. So, who do you think, because that's what I'm hearing possibly can go down, but who do you think should be that 5th member for SmackDown?
Well, I don't know, but if she's still on there. But I would like to see the 5th one be Asuka.
There have been rumors on that. It all depends on how her injury is coming along, because she did injure her rotator cuff from her last match against what was it? I think it was Blazer, because her shoulder was literally destroyed. So, good question. I don't know if it's possible. It would be nice to see her. I'll say that, but it's right now, I think it's like a 50-50 chance that she should be back.
Well, the only thing I can say is we got our predictions just to see which way they go.
Exactly. Like you said, the rest of them, you have RK Bro going up against the Usos. That's the last and final match. And then you have Becky Lynch going up against Charlotte Flair. It seems like we've seen this match hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times. Same thing like Sasha versus Charlotte. And I could be honest with you, the only matches I'm looking forward to out of all this is the Intercontinental United States, the tag team matches, the WWE Universal match, and then the 2 5-on-5 matches. They're the only ones I'm looking forward to. The women's match, I'd rather freaking sit there and play video games or even watch paint dry before I watch that match.
I'd rather get hit by multiple billion cars coming at me at once than before I watch that match.
So you'd rather play Chicken on I-95?
Put it this way. I would get more reactions out of going through that highway than sitting there and watching M2.
True. So we're going to get to our last and final subject for this one. And it was something that I found out fast by just reading up on things. A former ECW legend announced his retirement. Sabu, he was on the Wrestling Shoot interviewing. They interviewed he is now 56 years old. A legend, saying that he's been suffering from back pains and has finally decided to hang up his wrestling boots once and for all. He was the former ECW World Heavyweight Champion. He was also held the NWA World Championship, the XPW World Heavyweight Champion, the New Japan World Wrestling, the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion, and numerous other titles around the world. Which I give this man the credit. I got the chance to see him with ECW and WWE, and then the somewhat of the rebirth of ECW. I give this man the credit in the world for what he did and how much he put his body on the line to entertain us as fans and show the world of his culture and what he knew, what he loved to do. I hope he rests easy and enjoys retirement the best as possible. And hopefully you're still in the business and actually be able to train people and teach them by vocally on how to do things properly. Yes, you may not be able to take a bump as much anymore, but at least you can train them to become the best as to their ability.
And I got that a chance, and I appreciate all the opportunities that I had with a lot of guys that I have worked with going through the business. And Sandman, Sabu, even RVD. Them three guys, what they said to me is why I'm still into the business. And thank you, Sabu. I want to say thank you from a fan's point of view. Thank you. You and the others is what made wrestling what wrestling is today. If it wasn't for you and Dreamer and Sam and Taz, God, I can name a lot of old ECWs. But if it wasn't for you, we wouldn't be where we're at today. AEW wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. WWE still wouldn't be in here if it wasn't for you. So again, Sabu, my hearts to go out to you. Rest comfortably. Thank you.
So, as everything for out, that is our last final topic of the show. Do you have anything left to say for this show, Bio?
Come on, people. I want comments. I want to hear from you. Come on. Even if you're coming at me, come at me. It's bringing something.
Hey guys, please make sure you like our Facebook page. If you don't like Facebook, then screw Facebook. Go on YouTube.
Like, share, and
Subscribe.
comment.
Exactly. Or if you don't like YouTube, fine. There's YouTube too. You can go on Twitch. We are on all three broadcasting systems that you can get a hold of us. So please get a hold of us. Share with your friends. If you want to find us on Twitch, we are known as the capital TW Podcasts, which is all together. You want to find us on YouTube, you'll find us underneath with the Turnbuckle Wrestling Podcast, or you're on Facebook. Same thing, the Turnbuckle Wrestling Podcast. We do have a group page, but make sure you do like the like page as well. That's where you're going to get the video and everything else and all contact that's gone through any news that we receive. Even if we don't post it, you'll definitely get it on here. You know that. So please share, like, subscribe to all of it to get the latest everything else that you need. So, as always, James Black here. As always, my partner, Biohazard, and for the man who wasn't able to make it because he's been really busy with work, Paul Miller. As always, from the TWP, Eric James Black here. Sign out, people.
Here. And one more thing. WWE.
Sorry, but get better.